Welcome back, everybody. Coach's Corner East is Wednesday evening at the Galleon Pizza Hut. I'm your host, Mike Sparks, and we're getting ready to do the Colonel Crawford portion of tonight's show. The show is brought to you in part by Stephen Chuck Keller at Keller Auto Parts, your Napa dealer, Uptown Galleon, and Crestline. Marie Mounts at the Platinum Insurance Agency, your progressive agent, 131 Harding East, Uptown Galleon. Joe Kleiman Associates at the Galleon office of First Federal Bank of Ohio. Joining me at the microphone tonight, head football coach at Colonel Crawford High School, it's Ryan Teglovic. And Coach Teglovic, great to see you back again.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Appreciate that. And wow, what a last couple weeks. It's been a while since we've talked, but you know, you go over to Cary and lose a tough game. You go to Upper Sandusky and have kind of a sluggish first half, but then really turn on the Jets and have a great second half win. And then you got the Winford Royals coming into your place, a team that you beat for the first time at their place since, 1996 or something like that. Last year, you know, they want a little bit of revenge. They're starting to find their groove a little bit. They come to your house. They get the ball to start the game. They go on about an 8-minute drive. They score a touchdown. And you got to be thinking, oh my God, here we go. What's going on here? And then things changed, and the Colonel Crawford Eagles became what you are, your identity, and you start clicking on all cylinders. You get a huge 48-21 win, now 5-1 overall, 2-10 in the Northern 10 Conference. And just kind of at the start here, talk about how pleased you are with your kids' response after, again, the Cary loss, having a sluggish first half against Upper, and then kind of having a gut check on that first drive against Winford.
You know, I think our guys know who they are. They're comfortable with who they are. I think they're comfortable being down 7-0. Against Upper Sandusky, Upper's got a nice offensive team. So they hit a couple of plays in the first half. It's about being patient. It's about, we had to get a stop. Once we got a stop against Upper, you know, we were scoring and we were doing what we needed to do. And once we got up to 2 scores, we knew at that point that we were going to be in pretty good shape. And, you know, it's the same thing with Winford. They're going to come out. They're going to score. I mean, you have to anticipate. I mean, they have one of the leading passers in the league, and they've got good receivers, and they can hit big plays. And you know a team's first drive is probably going to be their best drive. They've been preparing for that all week. So you gotta do what our guys did, which was, you know, survive the storm and then come back and settle ourselves down and do what we do. So yeah, proud of our guys for the way they've battled all year. And, you know, we'll have another big test on Friday night.
No question. Lincoln Molokov, who's with us tonight, another big game has become kind of customary. 253 yards, 4 TDs, now with over 1,100 yards rushing and 20 TDs in just 6 games, and you score on your first 8 possessions. You know, again, when you can do that and be efficient offensively, it makes it a very difficult team to keep up with, because not all teams or opponents are going to be able to score with that frequency.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's, when you're playing a good team and a good program like Winford, and you know, we've got a ton of respect for them, but when you're playing a good team like that, and you don't pump the football all night, you know, it says something about what you're doing offensively. Lincoln had another big night, and you know, the guys, lots of guys around it. You know, Carter here and Nolan here have had some big plays for us. Matt Kleiner is playing well for us. You know, Carson Fickner had a couple of huge plays for us the other night. You know, and our offensive line has played very well. So you know, we've got a variety of weapons on that side of the ball, and I feel like our guys are executing well. Offensive coaches are doing a good job putting them in a good position.
And in addition to that, your quarterback Cam Lower chipped in 9 of 15 passing, 156 yards, plus 85 more on the ground, which maybe he hasn't really done all that often. And you amassed another 500 plus yards of total offense. And I like what you said, your comment that you've made offensively. We were clicking on all cylinders, which is kind of the understatement of the year, I suppose. And it's the first time you've beat Winford back-to-back since 92 and 93, which, you know, they've been a very good team for a very, very long time and still are. So that's really saying something. And there were a lot of self-inflicted wounds on their part. And Coach Albert said as much, penalties. And really, you know, you talk about all of you guys on your team being quote-unquote sons. But to see your blood son make a huge interception, which I felt was a real turning point in that game after they had gotten the ball, I think, on an onside kick.
Yeah.
Talk about the pride of just watching your son be able to make a huge play.
Well, it's neat. I mean, he's like, you know, he's like a lot of our guys. They work hard, and they work hard every day, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see that payoff. Nice to see individuals when they work hard every day to get success. And, you know, we're happy, obviously happy for him because he's my son, and I got to go home with him at night and like it when he's in a good mood. And he certainly was, and you know, I'm proud of him, very proud of him, and proud of all these guys just for that's what they do. They come, they work hard, and when you work hard, you know, those kind of things happen. So, you know, it was a fun night. It was a fun night overall. I mean, you know, when you're rushing for you know, close to 400 yards against a good football team like Wynford, you're enjoying the fact that you're executing and you're doing the things you need to do to win football games. So, you know, like you said with Cam Lowell, I mean, he's been very efficient. He had another efficient night for us, and he's done a good job of putting us in positions to win football games.
And 2 weeks in a row, you face the #1 and #2 leading passers in the Northern Penn Conference, first from Upper Sandusky and now Kobe Allen, who was second coming into your game. And he showed why he's second. 13 of 20 passing, 246 yards, albeit he had 2 interceptions. And Jaron Fillier, who just continues to get better week after week, 6 receptions, 162 yards. But you know, when I was watching that game, what I really noticed, and then again, you've forgotten more than I'll ever know about football, but it was the physicalness up front on both sides of the ball, and it just seemed to wear both of their lines of scrimmage down for the Wynford Royals. And we've talked about it week after week. When you have a running game that does what you do, it can be demoralizing mentally, and it really kind of sucks the spirit out, so to speak, of the other team. And it was very evident to me watching that game.
Well, we knew. I mean, Allen is he's a good quarterback. His efficiency has been phenomenal this year. You know, so you know, we did give up 200+ yards in the pass game, but you know, when you're playing a good football team, sometimes those things are going to happen. You're going to take away everything, and you know, a guy to the right of me had a big kick for us. You know, and Nick's pick as well. So you know, with Carter, Nick's pick, I mean, that's twice as many as he's had all year. So that helped us tremendously. And, you know, it's the first time that I can remember that we've held them to under 100 yards rushing in a very, very long time. In fact, that probably hasn't happened since I've been there.
Right. Good. Take a break here before we get to the young men around the table. Our show is brought to you in part by the Burkhart family at the Burkhart Farm Center, your Case IH dealer, straight west of Galleon on the Manette and Winchester Road. Mike Kleinite at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, and Marion. And Sweet Baby Ray Jones at Ohio Door and Sash, 120 South Street in Galleon. First up, senior and all seniors tonight. Carter Valentine is here, and Carter, so good to see you again. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
Big game, a lot of emotion. Any nerves going there as that first drive as you're out there thinking, holy crap, they came to play, we got to button it up? Was there any concern from a defensive standpoint, or was it just like, you know, we'll get our opportunity?
Well, obviously, everyone going through games going to be nervous. You know, it's normal to be nervous. So
If you're not nervous, you don't care. That's what I believe.
yeah, but I think after the first drive, our defensive coach made some adjustments, and throughout the game, we were to stop them.
When you're out there offensively, and you didn't get a ton of targets, and you don't always have to, but you become a diversion because that threat's always there. Your stature, 6'5", 6'6", people know that you can go up and get the ball, and DBs can't cheat and try to cover the run when you got running backs. Nolan doing the same thing. Even though you may not get the targets you want, you're fine with that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just do what you do.
Open my boy up over here, 30 yards.
Yeah, which he does very, very well. Defensively, you get a nice interception, and those are just mood changers. Those are big swings. Talk about how important that is to you, just to help your defensive unit out, to switch the ball, get the offense right back out there.
Yeah, it's very important, but you know, I'm not worried about getting interceptions and stuff like that. So I mean, as a team, getting turnovers, you know, always helps the defense, always helps the offense keep in a good position to score and put more points up on the board.
Very good. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Nolan McKibber is up next, and Nolan, another fine performance. When you sit there and you watch the films, I mean, does it seem like, because probably in the moment when you're out there living it, you really don't think, because you're seeing it from a level surface, but when you're looking it down on the film, this is crazy. This is Madden type stuff. Do you think that way or not?
I mean, a little bit, but watching the film, we always just try to see what we can improve on, because you can always improve and get better for the next week.
Yeah, I think lay people would say, how can you get better? You're rushing for 500 yards, you've got 400 yards rushing, 500 yards total offense. What is there to improve? You're being people handily, but what are the things that you're seeing that can be improved upon?
Defensively, I mean, we gave up more passing yards than we would have liked to, but offensively, there were some things we didn't do right. But I mean, at the end of the day, we got the win, but we can always improve for next week.
Okay. And Mohawk on the docket this week. A team that's down a little bit, but I've heard time and time again from numerous young people that play the sport of football in the Northern 10 Conference that Mohawk is probably one of the hardest hitting, most physical teams that are out there. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, they're quick and they play physical, and we got to come to play.
Yeah, got to be ready for sure. Back out on the road too. Yeah, all right, very good. Well, good luck. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Mr. Touchdown, Lincoln Mollenkopf is here, and I got to tell you, young man, I mean, this is the second time I've watched you play this year. I saw the Riverdale game, and this week I watched as well. And what I get impressed on from your running abilities is you're able to absorb the hit. When you get that first hit, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Chubb and Hunt for the Browns, and you absorb it and then deflect it and move on. And then when you get in open space, there's not a lot of guys around that can catch you. And I know as much as all the yards and all the accolades of the touchdowns, I know you're going to give it up to the line, right?
Yeah, it is really all up to the line. They got to get us started. They're blocking really well so far this season, and even the receivers so far. Keep Caulen Spangler, he's been giving me crap for not blocking, saying he blocks for me. But they're all blocking really well, helping me get to the next level.
Again, as I've watched the games and I've reviewed other film from other games, to me, again, a layperson, it just looks easy. Does it feel easy when it's happening?
In the back of the offensive line, when they're making them holes that big, it's pretty easy to get through and be able to get to the next level, make a play.
Where's your limit?
Hopefully I don't find the limit, Hopefully I never get through it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what more you can do. You're doing great things, but as a team, where do you think the growth still has to come? I mean, you got 4 weeks left, and then playoffs. Assuming playoffs are going to happen, which I know Coach doesn't want to talk about that. But where's the growth potential still for this group?
There's a lot of mental aspects still to get better at in the game. Adversity comes, and you got to be able to overcome stuff like that. And then just basic things, alignment, assignment, where you're going to go and get people at,
Very good. How's your health? Feel good?
Yep, feel good.
Good to hear. Well, good luck this week. I appreciate it. Next up, we have Caulen Spangler, senior as well. Hi, Caulen. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, are you creating all the blocks for him? What's the real story here?
A few. On certain formations, I go in, and ice is a big play where I block it. Yeah, you got a touchdown off of it.
When you guys are in the offensive huddle, and you're not disrespecting other teams or anything along that lines, but you kind of think and talk a little bit outside, we're just having our way, and this is a lot of fun, or is it all business, it's just concentration, on to the next play?
Yeah, in the beginning of the game, for sure, it's all business. We are focused on our assignment and what we have to do, and if we mess up, we gotta go next play and not remember that play. We gotta fix the things that we do. But I mean, later in the game, we can get a little bit more relaxed, I guess. But we still have to be right there with them, pushing them down every play.
Yeah. And how neat is it from an offensive standpoint to work with a guy that, and Coach Bruner, that was a former head coach, that's coming up with all these schemes and all these things? Because it looks pretty simple. Again, from an eye in the sky, it looks pretty simple, but I'm sure everything has to be to precision. The blocks have to be right. Your cuts have to be right. The passes have to be right. How much fun is that in practice, and then to translate that into a game?
Yeah, it's really fun. With our offense, it's not all that complicated. They keep it simple for us, and we just have to do our job, and our job isn't the hardest job. It's just we got to get it done to make the play.
Yeah, but like a good orchestra, if you're flat on a note, I mean, just play your notes and everything, it's going to sound beautiful, right?
That's correct.
Very good. Well, good luck this week against Mohawk. Appreciate it. And finally up, we have Jacob Awbrey. Hi, Jacob. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing really well. So I'm going to kind of ask you kind of the same question I asked our boy over here, Lincoln. What is the limit offensively for this group?
I don't think we found it yet for sure. There's definitely things we can improve on. And coaches getting on us every week, watching film, seeing our mistakes, and just going back and fix it and get on for the next week.
Mohawk doesn't have the record that they normally have, but they proved to be a dangerous team. They beat Seneca East, who they're having a great week. Does that concern you a little bit going into this week that maybe they're starting to find their pace a little bit? They're getting a little confident and coming off a big win against Winford, who's a rival. Maybe they're thinking you're looking by a little bit.
I mean, you can never underestimate them. They're going to be good, and they have a bunch of skilled guys that you always got to be careful about. But that's what we practice every day for.
Yeah. Good luck to it, and keep rolling. Appreciate you coming out. You are listening to Coach's Corner East with the Colonel Crawford Eagles on the home of Iconic Rock Q92.7 WQEL. Show is brought to you in part by Lee Plimo and Brad Seibert at the Plimo Insurance Group, Gallion and Bucyrus, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Coffee Success Center in North Walnut Street, across from the courthouse in Bucyrus. Phil and Sue Schreck at Phil's Deli, just east of Pizza Hut, at the bridge here in Gallion. And we're back with Ryan Teglovic here, and certainly appreciate you and all the guys, and I really enjoyed the things that they had to say tonight. It was interesting. And you go on the road again, over to Mohawk, a team that's 2-4 overall, 1-2 in the Northern 10 Conference. Eric Daniel, their head coach, they defeat Seneca East 20-14 and averaging just about 18 points a game, giving up about 31, which bodes well from the way that you guys are scoring. But they're pretty balanced. They rush for about 133 yards a game, pass for about 140, 273 per game. When you look at their film and have broken those down, what kind of stands out to you the most?
Well, first of all, it's a different team that was playing at the beginning of the year. They've had some injuries, and now they're starting to get some of those guys back. Colin Mark, who's out part of the upper week, and then the following week was back last week for the Seneca East, which is a huge shot in the arm. Starter, he's a great linebacker, good running back, two-way starter. So you got a guy like that coming back. I felt like he really helped them in the Seneca East game. They got a couple other guys back and helping. So I think it's a different team than what you saw early on. Also, they made the switch quarterback over the last couple games, and really feel like that's improved their passing game quite a bit.
Is it Gary or is it Hannah?
It's him. Number 15 is in there now. It gives him a little bit more of a lot more of a throwing threat. And, Gary's out more as a receiver, and they've got obviously other good receivers too, Fry, and Heyman, and those guys. So they're very fundamental. They always do things very well over there at Mohawk, and so they're playing good football. I mean, if you look early too, a couple of losses, non-league losses, or Hopewell Loudon, Gibsonburg, those are pretty doggone good football teams, and the loss to Cary as well, which we know is a good football team. So it's a good team, and we got to go over there to Mohawk. Our guys know that, and we got to just continue to get better and execute, focus on doing what we do, and try to do a little better.
As much as you stress getting better each and every week, and do you see this, and I don't want to say confidence, but this confidence continue to grow for this group?
Yeah, you like that. You like to have the confidence, and I think our guys do have confidence that they can go out there and play with anybody, and they should have that kind of confidence. You got to have a little bit of that swagger, but also be humble enough to learn from your mistakes and take responsibility for those. And I think our guys so far have done a really good job of balancing that.
How's the health overall?
It's pretty good. We're still, some of the younger guys banged up. We got Sam Webb, one of our linebackers, special teams guy, broke a collarbone last week. Jacob Awbrey's been out for a couple weeks now with a back, and won't play this week. And Micah Thomas, one of our backup running backs, we got a knee injury. So. It hurts in regards to our depth. I mean, that does at this time of the year. We're probably going to have some of those things. So, we gotta do some things, especially special teams wise. We're going to make some adjustments this week, and hopefully those guys will step up and play well.
Good luck to you as you head over to Mohawk in week 7, and hopefully continue to keep rolling. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thank you.
Take a break here. We'll be back with Pressline right after this time out.